Who you got?
Oh man, dude, there could be like 5 guys for this. Bud Dupree, Bush, Tuitt, Deonte Nelson. I'm gonna go with Bush. Just kind of, it's almost like that Abram factor that I was talking about.
Okay.
Made the honorable mention last year, and he got all the playing, like 60% of the playing time. This year, he's gonna get all of it. And first round pick, extremely talented. I think he's gonna make that second year jump. It's going to be a great defense. I think the numbers are going to be there in terms of tackles, just the stats across the board. So I'll give it to Bush. I mean, I think there's a little bit more unknown with the other guys. And Steven Nelson, I don't know if his stats are going to be there just kind of like this year with what happened with all the other cornerbacks. So, yeah, dude, I'm going to go with Bush.
All right, I'm going Deonte. I think, number one, when we talk Steven Nelson, the secondary is way too crowded in the AFC. We talked about how Joe Hayden, I mean, it looked like it was going to be a stretch for him to even make it. And we know how good Joe is. When we talk about Devin Bush at inside linebacker, the other guys that are currently already there, you got Darius Leonard, you have Tremaine Edmonds, who are young guys who are already proven. Then, like I said, last year, Dante Hightower made it, but CJ Mosley will be coming back. So my question is he going to be able to have performances that are going to be better than a Dante Hightower or CJ Mosley or even a Patrick Queen, who you were high on as well? We're both high on Patrick Queen. I personally have my concerns with that because he's going to have the lion's share of the coverage responsibility now. Similar to what we saw with Mark Barron, we're anticipating him obviously doing a better job with that, but that's a bigger responsibility when you have to be the guy in that department. I think he will improve, and I definitely think that he should be able to handle that without a doubt, but that is going to be a challenge for him. The reason why I'm excited about Deonte, though, is number one, Deonte did what he did last year with Mason Rudolph and Doug Hodges at quarterback. We know that Ben coming back, that's a major upgrade. Now, the room will be more crowded because you have a Juju, a Chase Claypool, James Washington, Ebron, Vance McDonald. But I think the routes that Deonte runs, the short intermediate stuff that he does is very QB friendly, and he creates after the catch. He does a great job after the catch. I think all of those things are the biggest reason why he would get that nod. With Bud, we saw Bud had the numbers last year. But we also know the politics of two guys like a Von Miller, and like I said, Khalil Mack, he's in the NFC, but you see with certain names, it just, you're stuck. And we anticipate Bradley Chubb being able to get in because, I mean, he already has a 12 sack season. We anticipate him being able to do that again, if not better. That's the concern with that when I think of a guy like Bud. And then with Tuitt, it's a lot of names that we've named so far in terms of D tackles now that aren't even on the list that have made it. We talked about a guy like Quinn Williams. We talked about a guy like, we were just talking about him actually, Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, we can go down the list of interior D tackle DN types that weren't on the list, and they already have 5-6 guys on the list right now. So that's my only concern when I think about Tuitt. But with Deonte, I think that it's set up for him to be successful. I think that it's set up for him to really go out there and flourish with Ben as his quarterback. So that's what I'm going with him.
All right, dude. Yeah, that works. How would you rank the 5 there? If you're going to rank, you say Deontay Johnson 1. How would you have it falling from there?
In terms of making it to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, chances. Yeah.
Oh, see, it's simple. Deonte, Devin. I go Deonte, Devin. Matt Filer. Steven Nelson. No, actually, Tuitt then Steven Nelson.
Okay.
Because even though Steven is nice,
not Bud. You'd have Bud last.
I would, just because of the position. It's tough. You can see, I mean, he had the best year of his career.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's people debate whether he could do it again. I think that he will be fine. But the issue is when you talk about the names that you're going to have to take off for him to get on, that's going to be tough. It's not easy to do. And that's the big issue with that, man. Whereas when I look at the other guys that I named ahead of him, they have better opportunities. And the reason why I even said Matt Filer is because as an interior offensive lineman, you play on a team with Ben and he stays clean, you're going to get recognition. You're going to get talked about a lot more because of that. And because he's the only one that's having to make the big switch from right tackle to left guard, that gets people talking. That gets more notoriety and things like that. So I think that could benefit him in a huge way also. It's just stacked that in the secondary, though. When I think of Steven Nelson, I'm like, dude, you got, in your division.
I kind of like Tuitt as the sleeper pick here.
Fair enough.
I really do.
If Tuitt can stay healthy, I think he definitely can be up there.
He was on path last year.
Yeah.
He was definitely on the path. Mm-hmm. I think I got to, do I put Deonte at that 2 spot? Are we completely writing off? I know, obviously, Juju already has a Pro Bowl, but
Yeah, we're saying just first time Pro Bowl.
That's what I mean. Does that hurt Deonte's chances a little bit? If they're splitting the receptions and the yards like that.
I think if Juju steps up, then Deonte has the Juju effect of that Juju had with AB. It makes it a lot easier on Deonte. If Juju can command a double team, imagine Deonte single covered out there. That's going to be a problem.
I'm going to go Bush. I'm going to go... Man, dude, it's between Tuitt and Deonte here. I'll go Bush, Deonte, Tuitt. No, I'm going to go Dupree over Tuitt.
Okay.
Bush, Deonte, Dupree, Tuitt, Nelson. And I'll put Fowler at last.
All right.
So that's my top six.
I know you don't like offensive linemen, though. Dude, it's all good, bro.
We'll see. We'll see, man. Good. I know he's been playing pretty good, but
not pretty good. He was, arguably their best offensive lineman last year. People would make the case for Pouncey because of the name element, but when you watch the tape, Pouncey did have some times where he struggled a little bit. Whereas with Fowler, he was a steady producer last year. He just doesn't have the name recognition right now.